day. It's another episode of Boardgame Talk.
The most
Intro
awesome
splash is
time.
coming soon, by the way. It's going to be fun.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
ooh.
Special intro splash. It has your face.
You spell no expense.
Absolutely not. That's right. After Effects will scream its heart out with all those cool explosions.
We'll fix it in post.
You'll make it in post.
Make it in post. That's it.
the one.
Fix it.
That's the one. So for this week, and this month even, we're talking about My Hero Academia, which is a very popular anime. I'm not personally an anime watcher, but it is a very popular game. And we also, in support of My Hero Academia in terms of games, because there's not as many as Joseph Sewing, the actual My Hero Academia game from S7 Games. There's not as many My Hero Academia games, so we also have some superhero games that are featured this month as well. But first, we're going to talk about that game you just showed off, which is My Hero Academia.
Yes, well, as you said, this is based on the anime. Basically, the anime is, well, the world is that you have an event that took place that caused about 80% of the population to have some kind of superpower. And the main character, which, forgive me, I'm not good at names at all, but the main character of the TV show doesn't have any superpowers.
Interesting.
So he's one of the 20% that got left out, but he still wants to have superpowers. So he went to the university with the intent of basically becoming a superhero because one of his favorite characters, superheroes, inspired him to do so. So that's pretty much the anime is basically based on his adventures of becoming more than just average, basically. So that's what the anime is. That's what the anime is in a nutshell. And the game is basically a card game. It's a game where you have basically five cards laid out in like 5 columns, and you're going on missions, and you're just basically picking up mission cards, and you're trying to get the cards in your hands to meet the conditions, and you get points for the missions you accomplish. So it's about 2 to 4 players, and it's about 40 plus minutes to play. So
Nice. That's going to be
Yeah,
fun. And that's our game of the month, so make sure you pick that one up. And that one retails for what?
$24.99.
Nice. So it's a nice, easy game to get. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia, come on by the store and pick it up. Give it a shot, play. And then on Tuesday nights, every Tuesday we have our board gaming meetup, basically. So if you want to play any board games, just bring them on down. You can also pick them up that day and then find people to play with. And you can also post into our tabletop gaming group, which if you look up Giga-Bites Tabletop Gaming Group, you can do that. I tried putting it in the post, but apparently when we put the links in the post, Facebook doesn't like that. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to go around that. Some people do it in the comments, but in a live stream it's weird. Anyway,
Also, very quickly, when it comes to board games, we also have a board game demo counter. So if you want to try out some board games, not really sure if you want to buy it or not, just come down, pick it up. There is no fee, there's no table fee, and there's no board game fee. Just pick it up. Set it up. We'll even help you learn how to play it.
Oh, sweet.
We'll teach you how to play it, and just play it. And then once you're done, just put it back and continue on.
Nice, nice. So then next up on our featured board game shelves for the month is not only My Hero Academia, like I said before, but also superhero games. So do you have a couple there that you wanted to show off? At least one?
A
It's the
couple
Marvel
of
one.
no, not a couple of heroes, but I had a couple of ones that were basically I can get some very quickly, but
Yeah,
when
go
it
grab
comes-
that off the shelf there real quick.
yeah.
There's so many board game releases, which is so cool. And I'm not a huge board game player. I'm more on the mini board game side, usually. But it's great that we have Joseph here that can help us figure out new fun games to play.
One of the cool board game superhero board games. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get caffeine in my system. Basically has Sentinel of the Multiverse. This is one of the very first ones out there.
Mhm.
It's a very popular one. It's a co-op game, so you're basically taking all the players are basically have a stack of superhero cards, and it's this pre-existing stack, and you have a super villain stack that you're trying to defeat. And in that stack, there may be obstacles, there may be super villain minions you have to defeat, and you just go through the stack until the superhero is defeated. And there may be also in a objective card scenario where you also have to deal with So this one has been out for a couple years now, and we have this the newest copy we have, a new set we have is the villainous one. So it looks like you can actually be the super villains at one point. Another one,
Yeah.
of course, is a very classic. I think it's one of the staple superhero board games in the industry, and that is Marvel Legendary.
Oh
Now,
yeah, classic.
Legendary also has mini expansions coming out. This is just one of them. This is the Spider-Man one. Or paints the Spider-Man and other ones. And basically, it's another cooperative game where you have a board that's pretty much New York City, and you have a row of villains, and you have it's a deck builder, so you have to buy superheroes. You pick up superheroes, they have superpowers, and you building your deck, creating a more powerful deck, and you have minions coming out, and then you have to face at the end one of the super villains in the stack. So you could have it could be anything from
And do you have like a
Thanos.
crew of heroes that you have, or is it like your one hero plus powers?
Well, in this game, it's deck builder, so you're bringing in superheroes
Cool.
into your deck.
Gotcha.
You could have multiple cards of Iron Man, for example. And the reason why is just the probability you want that card to come to show up more often when you draw your new hand. So you have that one right there. So that's been very popular one, very staple one. There's also a DC deck builder game out there. Actually, we just got a new one. There's a new version of it called Rebirth. So make sure to check that out. You can check it out at a store. And those are the ones that are multiple ones that we have plus more.
So cool. So cool.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. So then My Hero Academia, that's the one that's there on the shelves. You can look at that on the featured board game shelf, which is on the side of the board game aisle, which is the first thing that you see when you get to the store on the left.
We also have a center shelf when you walk into the store that has other items on there. So if you come in, just check it out. We also have a feature item close to the
Register.
Hey John, what's up?
Hey, John.
Hey. So why up?
John, what's your favorite part about My Hero Academia?
The story, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, the story's pretty good.
Yeah,
Well, now
I
I'm
like
going to have
it.
to watch it. If you say it's got a good story, then I got to...
No,
I gotta see
it does.
The characters I heard is also really good too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the story and all that, but especially with like all the Marvel movies and the prevalence and all that,
Yeah.
it does a good job of explaining superhero society. Like, if basically there's a lot of people in the superhero world, how that kind of turns out. So
Kind of what happens if X-Men was turned on its head. Like in the first X-Men movie, if Magneto was successful turning everybody mutant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So like most people are born with powers
Mm.
in one way or the other, but it's kind of like, yeah, if X-Men were mainstream, like in
Yeah.
their own universe, where
Mhm.
like the school for gifted were like everywhere,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Oh yeah. So
Love it. Cool. Yeah. So definitely. I mean, that's a great thing that we offer as the stores. Like, as our monthly themes, we don't just have to have a generic thing. We can get down to specific universes and series, which is cool.
yeah, and of course the best superhero of them all is Batman.
Nice. So then we don't want to spoil too much about later on in the month, because it is Halloween month, spooky
It
time of the
is.
year. Things start getting a little scary. Yes. So there is tons of horror-based, Cthulhu-based, all kinds of stuff for the horror games that's going to be coming up. So we don't want to get too much into that, but Arkham-related things is all I'm going to say for now. So we've got our favored games for spooky time.
Actually, I have an Arkham. Actually, yeah, we do have an Arkham. Actually, there's new Arkham expansion coming out for the board game coming out this Friday. We have a copy that's ready to be put on the shelf when the
Oh,
time
sweet.
comes. So it is an expansion. But for those who are not familiar, Arkham Horror, the third edition, just recently came out a couple months ago.
Ooh.
And I did have a chance to play it, and I really enjoy this game. If you played Pandemic, then it has that element where first things first, you have a module board here that you basically go around and you connect these things together, these boards here together, and these are locations on on a location. And you take your investigators and you're going onto the different pieces on the board. You have investigation tokens, which is these green tokens that have a magnifying glass on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically, these are clues, and so you're investigating. Those are story, the scenarios, and so it's kind of like you're turning a page on a narrative. Which is what I really enjoyed about the Arkham horror games is the strong sense of a narrative. I mean, me and my older brother, we were playing Arkham Horror, the card game, and when he reads out the description on the card, he does it in a very dramatic voice, which
You have
really
to.
helps. Yeah, of course, you have to. I mean, it helps with the thematical theme, or thematical. I don't know. Anyway, so but the thing that makes another thing that makes this game fun is that there's a bag that has different symbols in it. That kind of represents a dice. So instead of rolling a dice, you reach your hand into the bag for symbols, and it tells you what is going to happen. Mostly, it's going to be bad, and
You should put a spider in there sometime.
Oh, yeah. An actual spider or
Yes.
just a fake spider? An actual. Oh, geez, that's harsh. That is harsh.
That'd be great. It'd add to the thematic theme, as you said.
It would be, but it would cause a lot of heart attacks too. So they have to have a defibrillator next.
Dude, it's Halloween season. That's what it's all about.
True. That's true. Or you just have a can of worms that when people open it, just pops out. The classic one, you know.
No, an actual can of worms, though. You can get them for pretty cheap at the fishing stores.
Well, we could actually get gummy worms so that when
No,
people,
no. They had to be real worms.
I don't know. It's not that very. Worms are not very scary unless they're actually eating something.
But if you have to put your hand in a bag and you might get a worm or a spider, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless the
Yeah,
spider
that
eats the
would be-
worm.
That would be scary. But basically, the basic and another feature about the game is that it's like there's also an element in Pandemic. Well, there's a mythos, the mythos phase as well. You pull out the token, and each token symbolizes something. There's one point where more monsters are going to pop up, so the investigators have to go to different locations, defeat the monster, find the clues, go to a different location, and then go through this entire process. This is really, really fun. And what the expansion does is it basically does exactly that. It expands on the game. It gives you 2 new scenarios, a couple more cards, monster cards from investigators, and it actually gives you a monster deck holder in the game, so you have a place to place all that big deck of cards.
Nice.
So,
Organization is important with board games.
Oh yeah. So it's really fun. I enjoy it. It's not. I think my one of my personal favorite Arkham games, a spinoff is Elder Signs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's more of a dice version of the game.
Kind of Yahtzee,
So-
right?
You kind of like Archer. You have these tail side cards that has symbols on them that represents tasks, and you have a dice, and you have 3 chances to roll. Well, you have about as many chances. I think three rolls, if I remember correctly, where you roll the dice, and you have to match the symbols from the dice onto the cards to complete them. And if you run out of dice, and every time that you fail, you have to remove a dice from the dice pool.
Nice.
So the chance of succeeding is reduced every single time.
That makes sense.
And there was one expansion that came out a couple years ago called The Streets of Arkham, which is basically you going on the streets of Arkham and you saw
To the red light districts.
Oh yeah, and the element that it added to the game is at the back of the tarot card they had these symbols that are green, yellow, and red represents the difficulty.
Oh, okay.
And so the investigator knows that if you flip over this card, you don't know what's going to be on the other side. So I like that anticipation aspect of it,
Uh-huh.
and then it tells you the difficulty. So if it's red, you know it's probably going to be bad, but you don't really know how bad. So I like that aspect.
Nice.
And for me, it's
we can't go too far much into this because we have 3 more weeks left in October. We got to talk about horror
It's true.
games, which is one of my favorite themes of board games in general. So that's good.
Yeah, but we have plenty.
And then
Those
one
plenty-
upcoming game that you're looking forward to.
The upcoming game I'm looking forward to is a game called Deep Blue.
Mm.
It's from Days of Wonders. Now, Days of Wonders is a game company that releases like one game every year. The last one they released was The River, which was a light worker placement game. Deep Blue is more of a push your luck game, where you're basically diving. You have all these players are diving for treasure, and this game. So what happens is that once you decide to make a dive, you have these pieces. You move around the board, and you move to a location. Once you dive, you have basically you put your hand into a bag of diamond or that bag of diamonds and putting out specific different colored diamonds, and depending on the cards you have in your hand, some of them is worth as much as how much the card says they are. And there's a push your luck aspect to it. Well, if you pull out the wrong one, you can lose oxygen, and you may have to go back up to the surface to do it. So
Nice.
that game, I'm really looking forward to trying out that game. So that's hopefully be coming out in the next couple of weeks or months.
Excellent. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Joe, thank you so much. Y'all,
You're welcome.
again, this is your second episode of Board Game Talk. You can always look at the first one on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page, talking about games that are out, featured games, things that you need to pick up because they're so fun. So again, join us on Tuesdays, and then we will see y'all for the next episode. Thanks, everybody.
All right, bye.